For lesson 2's homework, we're going to start to solve systems by substitution. So the first one says, solve the system of equations y equals negative 2x plus 6 and 3y equals x minus 3 algebraically. So because this first equation says y equals, we're going to use substitution. And what we're going to do is we're going to take what we know y equals and we're going to plug it in for y in the other equation. So that's going to give us 3 times negative 2x plus 6 equals x minus 3. So the rest of that second equation stays the same. The only thing we're changing is that we're going to substitute in for y, because now instead of having an x and y, we just have one variable, x. And now we're going to solve this like we did earlier in the year. So we're going to distribute the 3. We get negative 6x plus 18 equals x minus 3. I'm going to add the 6x to both sides. That gives me 18 equals 7x minus 3. So because I chose to do it that way, I have to add the 3 to both sides. So 21 equals 7x. Divide by 7, and I get that x is 3. Now remember, systems always have two answers. They have an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So what I have to do now is I have to go back and plug in. And in order to do that, I need to pick one of my equations. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to choose the one that's already set equal to y, so this way I don't have to do any extra work. Y equals negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, and negative 6 plus 6 gives me 0. So my answer here for the system is 3, 0. Solve the system of equations algebraically. So same thing. We have an equation that says y equals. So we're going to take what y is equal to, and we're going to plug it in for y in the other equation. So sometimes you have to worry about using parentheses here, but because the y comes first, we're just able to plug it in. So 2x minus 2 minus 2x, close parentheses, equals 4. Now if I look at what I have here, I have 2x minus 2 minus 2x. My like terms here cancel out. So I end up with 2 times negative 2 equals negative 4, and I get negative 4 equals negative 4. Now it looks a little bit different because I'm out of variables. So that tells us something special. And what that tells us is that our solution is all numbers on that line. And really, instead of numbers, I really should say points on that line. Because what is true here is that these are the same line. So if you were to make that bottom one say y equals, what you would notice is that it's exactly the same as the top one. It would be y equals 2x minus 2. So whenever you get an answer like negative 4 equals negative 4 or something that makes sense, that means that your equation or that your two lines are exactly the same. And therefore, all the points on that line are going to be your solutions. So this is the same problem from the first lesson, but now we're going to do a little bit differently. Central High School had 5 members on their swim team in 2010. Over the next several years, the team increased by an average of 10 members per year. The same school had 35 members in their chorus in 2010. The chorus saw an increase of 5 members per year. Write a system of equations to model this situation where x represents the number of years since 2010. So I'm not going to take too much time talking about the equations because we did that already. So the total number of kids was y, and that was 10x plus 5. The swim team started with 5 members, and every year they went up by 10. Then the chorus, y equals total number of kids. They started with 35 members and went up by 5 each year. So 5x plus 35. It wants us to solve this algebraically. So the last time we did this, we put it into our calculator and looked at our table. Now we need to do it algebraically. Since they both say y equals, we're going to set them equal to each other. So 10x plus 5 equals 5x plus 35. So I'll start by subtracting the 5x on both sides. Not cancel that out one. We're going to cancel out the other one. So 5x plus 5 equals 35. I'll subtract the 5 on both sides. 5x equals 30. Divide both sides by 5, and I'm going to get that x is 6. Now remember, systems always have two answers, and it's up to you to figure out which one you want to plug back into. Because this is fairly simple, and they're both into y equals form, I'm just going to take the first one. So 10x plus 5, so 10 times 6 is 60, plus 5 is 65. So therefore the answer to this system is going to be 6, 65.